In this episode, we're going to talk about all the big news that came out of Disney recently regarding Star Wars.
New trilogy.
New TV show. Stick around. What is Disney doing to us? All this new information is really exciting, but a little scary at the same time.
Scary, different. I guess the real, like we talked about, how good is Last Jedi? It has to be. It's not even out, and they've already given the keys of the kingdom to reign on another trilogy.
Yeah.
I think that is just incredible. Considering, we haven't even seen this Han Solo project yet, or solo film.
No.
We haven't heard anything about Obi-Wan Kenobi, other than the announcement of the film, which I really hope Ewan reprises his role. That's my feeling on it.
You have to.
I hope so.
You
know
what
I mean?
To.
Yet again, I hope so, but I think probably the biggest thing is the streaming service. With all the announcements this week in particularly, I probably have heard already what everyone's saying, but I like the fact that they're going to roll it out cheaper than Netflix.
Yes.
And they're going to basically stand by the statement for the moment that the price is going to reflect what's going to be available at the rollout.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
so
it'll build to
of course, and as the back catalog, expands,
Oh,
I'm sure the price will become very comparable to Netflix. And for everyone out there who's already bitching and complaining about the price and whatever else, you have the right, just like everyone else. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Exactly.
Me personally, I can't wait, because I like the concept. I like the idea of everything being in one spot.
Yes.
And, Netflix is great. And really, if you think about it, I don't know how many people out there have Hulu and some of the other streaming services that are on there, but Hulu has a tremendous amount of Disney animation available, movie-wise.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I imagine all that.
I believe Disney has a 30% stake in Hulu.
That would ABC and everything, yeah. So that would make sense. But anyway, I think that's kind of, I think it's kind of cool. I look forward to it.
So do I.
I also look forward to the inevitability of basically being able to stream the Star Wars movies.
And that brings me to a point.
Without spending $100.
I think they need to hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
What better
Agreed.
way would be to have the entire Star Wars catalog? And I'm talking Ewoks, droids, maybe not the holiday special, maybe. Or they roll that out just at Christmas time or something.
But they don't have to, if they don't want to.
No, but something that gets fans excited. And
what would get fans excited is the other news that kind of slipped under the radar this week, which was, Disney and 20th Century Fox in negotiations for Disney apparently purchasing a large percentage of 20th Century Fox. At least that was the rumor. Apparently talks broke down sometime later in the week, but that doesn't mean anything. That just means that they could have just wanted a long weekend. But I like that, because basically with them purchasing 20th Century Fox, it gives us the opportunity of getting a real, honest-to-God, HD, Blu-ray, original movie, trilogy.
right.
So, that would be, because 20th Century Fox holds the rights for New Hope. So we could get Empire in return, but you would never get New Hope.
I also see Disney,
And you would get the mutants back in Marvel.
yes, and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but we'd get the mutants.
Yes.
If you want to watch a Fantastic Four movie, go watch Incredibles. Sorry.
I
It's
know
just,
what you mean, but yeah. But you could interject those characters in. The
Yes.
Thing showing up, that'd be awesome.
It's a shame that this is happening now. because it would be great to see aspects of the X-Men in Infinity War. Or in,
Yeah.
that would. It's a shame that it's all occurring now and not a year and a half ago or what have you. That's all. It's just a
Yeah.
completely selfish thing there. You
Right.
know what I mean?
No, I definitely see that. That's something too. That Disney could use it as like a proving grounds.
Well,
Maybe
you know,
they haven't released certain things because they didn't really sell when they originally came out, and they've been burned by fans before. So why put this stuff out on DVD or Blu-ray if it's not even going to sell? If they put it up here, they have instant numbers.
and based off of those numbers, just to whether or not they could put it out for sale,
Mhm.
I don't disagree.
And
with
then
that.
they say, hey, we just got you hooked on Ewoks. Guess what? That's going back into our vault for another year.
Yeah, exactly. Or droids or what have
Right.
you. Right. I understand what you're saying.
Just like with Netflix, things come and go. You can do that with it.
But
Keep
you know,
it
the other
fresh.
interesting thing with the Fox negotiations, if they end up buying most of Fox, does that mean they're going to get the network stations? Does that mean
No,
they're going to
that-
get
that-
FX? Does that mean they're going to
No,
get?
from what I understand, that's Fox wants to focus more on their news outlets and their stations than the movie side of it.
Huh. Interesting.
That's just what I heard. I don't know.
That's
But they want to
interesting.
be more of like a media conglomerate than a media entertainment thing.
More like Turner, less like Time Warner.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the way it sounds.
I got you. I got you. Either which way, it sounds like a win-win to me.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
As long as the status quo remains. I mean, everyone's big thought is, well, if that were to happen, would Deadpool still be R?
Yeah.
You gotta remember, people, Disney are behind movies like Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, with when they owned Miramax at that time.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that.
I mean,
You're right about that.
they
You're
have
right
so
about that.
many studios making so many things. They've made plenty of
Well,
R-rated movies.
You know, Disney owns Caravan, Twin Oaks, Touchstone, Buena Vista, and all of those have put out R-rated films. No shit, it's how Disney basically got saved in the '80s was Touchstone.
Oh, yeah.
The revenue stream that was funneling back into the family side of it, which nobody really knew or understood, I guess. But the thing is, look, Disney's in the business of making money and making good product to make money, okay? And that's what this is all about. And that's what. So what made $600 million in R-rated Deadpool? You really think Disney is interested in
No.
changing that? But here's the thing: if they do it, and they do end up with all these licenses, and they do end up with all these agreements, I could still see Deadpool kind of like, so here's all the Marvel universe over here, and then Deadpool's still over here, if that makes any sense. He's quite off to the right. You know what I mean? He's not in quite the same.
Now, here's a fantasy that just popped into my head.
Sure. Disney
With-
versus, Star Wars versus Marvel.
No.
Oh.
I would never want to see that. I wrote a whole article on that, actually.
I wouldn't mind seeing aspects of it. Just,
We saw the X-Men versus Star Trek. How did that go over?
I was fine with it.
Oh, God. Anyway.
Anyway,
No, I was
fantasy.
going to say fantasy of seeing the X-Men in their outfits.
well, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be the end result. That's what,
Because
what
that's
you hope to
the
see.
world that Marvel has created, where people wear outfits, people wear their costumes, and it's awesome.
I think the greatest crying shame is that Hugh Jackman did Wolverine for, 10 films?
Mhm.
And never wore the iconic Wolverine costume. You know, it just didn't even.
I mean, shit.
That's a
Suicide
shame.
Squad at least gave us original Harlequin for a snippet in that little.
Deadshot.
Well, yeah.
He was relatively faithful to
Right.
the, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that
But I'm
was.
saying just an
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
aesthetic.
Yeah. But I mean, with the streaming service, with the announcement of a new trilogy, which, that's probably the biggest, coolest thing that could have been talked about or announced
Yes.
this week was Ryan Johnson basically taking over a new trilogy. And the quote or the little blip I read was basically it's a part of the galaxy that we haven't seen before. Well, what could that possibly be? You know what I
Sky's the
mean?
limit,
Yeah,
honestly.
you know what I mean? What could that possibly
I
be?
mean, and the thing is, haters, just stop right now. Just because you love the the extended universe, expanded
Mm-hmm.
universe,
Mm-hmm.
and that's your gospel, that doesn't mean that's the roadmap they're taking. People are so pissed when it's like, but that's not how it No.
That's not how what happened. How do you
In
know?
people, exactly, but in people's minds after Jedi, they did Shadow of the Empire and all those,
No, Shadow of the Empire was between Empire and Return.
whichever.
Okay, what you say?
What was the one afterwards? Dave Dorman covers.
Heir to the Empire?
No.
Dark Empire?
Dark Empire. Right after Jedi.
Yeah, Dark Empire. Right.
But anyway, when they did episode 8, no, 7, sorry, it wasn't that, and people instantly got pissy.
All right, I'm gonna just say this.
Yeah.
Dark Empire was okay,
Yeah,
but why
sated our
would Disney?
desire
And
at
I'm
the
gonna
time.
argue. I'm gonna bring this up right now. Why would Disney take a story that's been done and
Right.
then put it on screen?
No, but my whole point was saying we have a whole open universe here.
Well, yeah.
Don't put any tags on it. Just what happens, happens. I would love to see a very alien-centric story.
Yeah. Or what about like a true, the thing about Star Wars that's, at least it's always mentioned even in an expanded universe, which is now referred to as Legends.
Yeah.
Why not a story of the gangs? The Black Sun, all these different
Yeah.
gangs that have been, we've been
that's
introduced to,
Right, right.
but we know nothing about, really. You know what I mean?
True.
So that would be kind of cool to see it from a more of a street level Star Wars. If I'm going to sit there and speculate what haven't I seen, I would love to see like what's it like to be a street level kid growing up in Coruscant who's dealing with 37 gangs, and the only way out of this mess is off of Coruscant and out into the
You
wide
know what? That
galaxy.
sounds like a great premise for a TV show.
Well,
too.
either one. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
There's all these great little things that we know a snippet about. We only know a little bit about. We only know,
And that's what we
what happened to the
need.
bounty hunters after the New Republic. You know what I mean? What?
Well, yeah, but what I was going to say is that's kind of what we need. We need to see Star Wars at rest. What
Oh,
is
yeah, okay.
an everyday life like? You could set a whole drama
We know that.
within the world.
We do know that.
And it not being that fantastic.
We know aspects of it because
Right.
you want to go and hang out with your aunt and drink some blue milk and go down to Tashi's and get some power converters. You know what a day is like. You know what I mean? You want to get those.
Or like pod racing.
Exactly. You want to get those moisture evaporators running up there on the north quadrant,
Yes, we did get
We
to
do know
see
an aspect of it, is
that.
all I'm
Yes,
saying.
to
Right.
show Luke's character
Correct.
progression. Yes. I think that could be, of course, heavy on storyline, but that could be a good show.
Well, and that's one of the things that Star Wars has kind of suffered from to some extent, is there isn't a lot of storyline.
Right.
It's
It's like
it's-
people calling out for, there should be this type of person or this type of person. I hate to say it, but this is a war type scenario. We don't get those intimate moments. That would be like forced into Star Wars. We don't have intimate
Well, that's the thing. I
moments.
don't care what you incorporate in Star Wars.
a
I mean that
sweeping
from the
epic.
bottom of my
Right.
heart. I could care less, as long as it's organic.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It was what, and nobody understands this, I guess. It's what made Jar Jar fail. Jar Jar wasn't organic.
No.
Okay, Jar Jar was here. He's here. You need to laugh at him. Why aren't you laughing at him? He's really cool. He's totally CG. Why didn't you laugh at him? That's what happens when you insert a character
Right.
just for the sake of inserting a character. So you end up not liking them. You end up hating them. Okay, because they don't fit in the circumstances that they're in. If you don't believe me, then why isn't Jar Jar a major character in Episode 2? Because somebody realized the mistake they made.
People had spoken.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. So, but new streaming service, I love the idea. New trilogy, love that.
Jump into the Marvel side of things. They announced that they're doing a new Marvel show over on the streaming service, and they're halting all future new content for Netflix. It's kind of question mark. What are they going to do with the existing shows? Will they be gone?
Yeah, that hasn't really been
or
addressed.
will those be the only things built on with no new series is added? And does that mean that what's going to be on the streaming service is in that same vein? Or will they try for something different as long as it's not like Shield? We need something.
I don't like Shield.
No.
I don't.
I've tried. There's been moments
So
that
have
were
I.
good, like Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah,
That whole storyline was
That
interesting.
was kind of cool. Yep.
Right.
Also, Inhumans is very bad. It's not good.
It's sad. I
It's not
was
good.
pumped for it, and I didn't even know it arrived.
It's
until
not good.
People talk about the finale.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's a shame because it's one of the greater characters.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? The family, the dynamic of the royal family. But it's not good. It's just not good. And that's a shame. It really is a shame because you guys have done so well with all the other shows, especially the Netflix shows. I don't know why when you guys cross over the threshold to ABC, it seems like the wheels come off. So, Ghost Rider was a high point in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
You know what
definitely.
I mean? But the rest of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has barely kept my attention, and Inhumans is not good.
And their heavy-handed use of Inhumans as these are our mutants.
It's not good.
That backfired on them.
Yeah, it did.
That really
Because,
did.
well, here's
Because
the
if
thing.
it would have been a hit there,
You know,
it probably would have been in movies.
but DC's go-to thing is everybody's working in a chemistry lab, lightning hits it, tornado goes by, and you have superpowers, whatever, okay? In Marvel, it became, and it wasn't always this way. In the 60s and the 70s, it was the mutants were over here,
Yes.
and then there was the rest of the superhero fold. And then somewhere in the mid to late 80s and early 90s.
They heavy-handedly did
They
X-Men
heavy-handedly-
versus Fantastic Four versus Avengers to push them into
into the
Continuity,
reality, exactly.
yeah.
And then more importantly though, it became a cop-out for every character that came along. Well, what
it's
happened?
the greatest MacGuffin.
He's a mutant.
He's just born that way.
He's born that way. All that nuclear shit, and it's making Godzilla
yeah.
alive
I mean,
and bringing the children to the
In
atom.
the 60s, superhero comics still had to have a air of horror, which was the big thing at that time. So everybody is a changed person.
Of course.
Well,
Well, and not only that, I think Marvel used a lot of metaphors, even more so than DC did. You know what I mean? The proverbial Hulk, green-eyed monster, right?
Right,
Okay,
right.
there was a lot more. I always thought that, at least. I thought there was a lot more metaphors in Marvel's.
it was Marvel
presentation.
was offered that, and we're totally off topic, but
Yeah.
oh well. But Marvel was afforded that because of it being very terrestrial.
Correct.
DC was very fanciful. Their MacGuffin was from a different planet.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I don't even think you can call Superman the last Kryptonian. Isn't there like 5,000 of them now? Like a cousin and a dog. I mean,
yeah.
fucking dogs are from Krypton. I mean, whatever. But anyway, we
horses.
did get off.
Yeah.
Fucking Jesus.
But anyway.
We got off of the subject, but yet again, Disney, I would like to see them put a little bit more effort into making quality TV programs.
Yes.
And really, I know people are probably shaking their heads. Well, what is it, The Outcasts? The Fox X-Men
Oh yeah.
series. I'm up to episode 6. It's alright. It's okay.
Yeah. I definitely know it's not my X-Men or New Mutants or whatever.
There are aspects of it, though,
Right,
that are
I
very
see name
reminiscent.
drops when I read the reviews.
Well, it's not even that. It's very reminiscent of it. It's almost close to being our X-Men. It's just that close. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, they're on the run. Okay, mutants are legitimately hunted. All these things all those concepts from the 70s and 80s that you liked about the X-Men. It's there. There's just something missing, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. It's I want to like it, and I'm this close to liking it, but I just can't commit to it. You know what I mean? And it's just it has potential, and it's going to be like anything. You know, it's got to grow. It's going to have to progress. So maybe, you know, by the end of this season, it could be a very good show.
If it lasts.
If it lasts,
the
right.
thing is, I mean, oh crap! I just saw a ratings listing. It was the top 10 and the bottom 10. I forget which side it fell on. I hate to say that, but I forgot ever since seeing that. Anyway, yeah, they need to roll out big, the Disney streaming service, and
I think
not
they will.
include the High School Musical series that they're starting. Take that, you have all this great Star Wars and Marvel news and High School Musical TV show. It'll be cool. It'll sell for them, but I'm just saying.
I think it's almost too
Different
soon for the High
universes.
School Musical, though. It's almost too soon, and I'll tell you why I say that.
For nostalgia.
For nostalgia's sake.
Right.
You're not going to get the guys, the kids that were so bananas over it coming back to it in droves. You will.
Yeah, I mean,
you will for the first strike. You know what I mean?
yeah, if
but
they're
you,
smart, they'll make it like Degrassi, but with a singing and dancing number thrown in.
I would say right now you're about 5 years away from really rolling that out.
Yeah. Unless they do like a Riverdale to it. Edge it up. For the teenagers now that are savvy and need to be...
But I'll use my daughter, who was the demographic of High School Musical. She was nuts for it, okay? She's 18 now, okay? Why I say if she was 23, I think this would be a bigger deal.
Understood.
Because, when we were, think of it this way, when we were 17, 18, 19, or 20, were we sitting around watching TV? We were out running around. So your demographic, your audience... You've got to get them to come and watch your show, okay? Yes, you're going to get new fans, of course you will. That's but what's going to keep that show alive is the diehards. You know what I mean? It's what CBS was hoping for with Star Trek Discovery. You're going to get new fans, but you're hoping to get all the the Trekkies to come and buy your streaming service. But
Yeah.
It's got to work. The audience has to be there, and I think I think it's a great idea. I think it's awesome because they were fun. It was fun to watch my kids grow through the High School Musical era. I mean, it was pretty cool. I just think it's a little too soon yet. That's all.
Understood. I can understand that. But we're still talking about something that's 2 years away, so maybe...
Lightning.
catch that wave.
Absolutely.
Right.
I hope so. I hope so. But new Star Wars trilogy. Oh, new TV spot too.
Yes, that's very awesome.
Yeah, it was, 40 seconds or something like that? But it's pretty cool. I like you know what I like about this? More than anything else.
I like the shit about it.
Well, yeah, that's the best part, truthfully. But I love the fact that I feel like we're going along this journey with Finn more than we are with anyone else.
The everyman. Well, ex-Stormtrooper, everyman.
Yeah, because there are things that he is so animated, okay? He is so over the top. I mean, even just the 2-second snippet of him in the cockpit of the plane losing his shit over something, or even telling somebody, "May the Force be with," you know what I mean? Even in the first in The Force Awakens, we'll use the Force. That's not how this works. He has no idea. It's going to be someone who... I like the fact that we're going on this journey with him, and I think it's kind of fun. I like that perspective.
It is. It is nice to have those type of characters in such a larger-than-life situation. I mean, that's one of the things at first I thought Finn talked real. A lot of the regalness that, I don't know if Lucas asked, everyone sound British, if that was his direction or...
Well,
whatever.
truthfully and honestly, in the first trilogy...
But he's an English gentleman having to speak American when he could... You know what I mean?
Right. I think in the first trilogy, everything is so serious. Okay? Leia being what she was. Han being what she... And yes, there's funny parts. I'm not being that. But but everyone's been established. They've been around in this galaxy. You understand that they've all grown up under this foothill or the boot heel of the Empire. So the tone is there. You know what I mean? This seems to be a little bit of a different type of tone.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just, like I said, it's enjoyable to actually see that.
Yeah.
You know?
So, Sorry to drop another Star Wars episode right after our last
We can't help
one.
ourselves, and it's probably going to be 2 or 3 more before this is all said and done with.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we're not.
Until into the new year. at
Yeah, we're
least.
still like a month away from
Yeah.
Last
a month
Jedi.
and 4 days, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, close enough.
Yeah. But anyway,
What's your thoughts?
yeah.
What do you guys feel about the Disney
What would
streaming
you be
service? Are you
excited
guys
to see?
excited about it? Are you upset about it? I know there's people out there that are having a fit that Disney's doing a streaming service. Be prepared to have many fits, because if this all goes the way I think the future of television, they're just the first of many. It's
Yeah.
going to be, I don't think cable is going to be quite what it was. I think picking and choosing your streaming services is the wave of the future, unfortunately.
Yeah, I really hope so.
I do too. I really do. I really do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, keep being rad.
stay dorky.
See you next time.